It's my review for our clinic time. Um, First time getting back into the clinic in a while, and we've been doing some peer learning, which is very good. Some bits not so much, but on the most part, very good. Um, Most students are pulling their weight and putting the effort into their presentations, and we're learning lots from each other. There's a few that maybe lastminute.com, but hey, that's their fault and their problem. Um, I can hand on heart say that I researched my topic and did genuinely learn something. Um, as much as presenting on a Monday morning isn't the most great thing to wake your mind up, it's a little bit of pressure. It actually gives you that whole weekend to study a topic that you didn't know before. So last week I did concussion differences in female athletes. Something I never really thought of being different in female athletes. Um, Number of anatomical theories as to why, in terms of smaller neck muscles and things like that. Well, there's also theories that it could be due to females actually report more concussions. There's kind of a man up stigma. But one of the biggest things I think I took away from it was how I behave around female athletes. Lauren did a very good presentation on REDS and how it's not just females, it's men. It's heavily focused on periods and how contraception can affect female athletes and things like that. Something, as a man, I've never, ever thought of. I went to a Catholic all-boys school. Our sex education was don't do it. And it's personally something I know absolutely nothing about. We had a really good discussion. I personally coach a ladies rugby team, and it's not something I've ever discussed with any of the players. In terms of performance-wise and mental states, there's so many different things that come into it. But also, I have no idea about it. Learned a lot from Lauren's presentation and listening to Alex about sort of pelvic floor exercises, things like that. It's just something, to be honest, I don't think I'd be comfortable talking to a female about. If they came into clinic, I wouldn't in a million years think about asking about their periods or if they urinate too often. It's just something would genuinely never even cross my mind. But actually, it's quite a big indicator on what's going on. There's so many different things that it links to. And Ellie shared some stuff about when she was rowing. She was rowing at a high level, and not one girl on her team had a period. They were just training too hard and just didn't have a proper menstrual cycle. They weren't getting enough energy in for their body to operate how it needs to be. And we learned about female trainees up in Sandhurst, the army training school, that for the whole time they're training, they just don't have periods, which I'd, it's pretty much doing now how they worked anyway, but it's definitely not right. And Ellie shared that she got an injury and she stopped rowing, and that was the first time that she had a period because she stopped rowing, she stopped training, which if she hadn't have stopped when she got injured, would she ever had one? Would she ever be able to have kids? And I kind of think it puts the question on: can you be an elite female athlete and still run have a family? I just don't think there's enough awareness out there of the pressures that female athletes have to go through. I mean, if you know going into it that to be at that level of Olympic gold medal in your sport, that potentially you might not be able to have children further down the line, then I think people should at least be aware of it, because yeah, I definitely wasn't. Yeah, it's just something that I think definitely I've never ever taken female athlete considerations into it. It's just something I don't know about, but it's something I'm gonna go and read up on and do some research. And personally, I'm going to talk to the girls I coach and see if there's anything we can do. And also, if they feel comfortable talking to a male coach about it, should a male coach be talking to young athletes about it? I don't know. Should there be education for the parents? Almost definitely. Should there be education for the players? Again, almost definitely. Graham shared a very good paper about Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club actually started measuring their players' cycles, and they design training around each player, not the squad. So even from coaching points of view, tactically and things like that, they actually have 3 goalkeepers, and they rotate the goalkeeper. So if they're having a particularly low point on their cycle, their mental game is up there. So it's just being aware of how your athletes are adapting and changing throughout the month, because at the start of the month, the end of the month, the whole cycle, they change, and it's not a bad thing. As long as you're aware of those changes, then you can deal with them and make you a better coach and a better therapist. And just shows that you learn something every day.